Hey you guys, thanks so much for clicking on my channel. We're all smiles over here. I am Will Sanja, like asking a question. Will Sanja help me keep a smile for today? Hopefully the answer is yes, you guys. I'm trying not to keep it long, but y'all already know. If it gets good, I'm gonna keep on talking. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to go to negative. Today is overcoming evil. But before I get to run my mouth, I'm going to do a check with this manifestation jar, and then we're going to talk about it. Okay, let's see. And I pulled out 2 or 3, and the first one says what? Understanding, and we're going to take that all day long. Yes, we are. The next one says more favor. We're going to take that too. And last but not least says what? Aligned friends, and we will take that as well. Listen, overcoming evil is very easy. I know you're saying what? Yes, it's very easy. It's so easy. Y'all, I had read way back when ago about God saying vengeance is mine, right? And then a few weeks or so ago, I was reading it again and I came across the passages and stuff. And I was like, oh, I forgot all about all the rest of this stuff. And so I got to reading, it got so good. And I said, well, let me tell them, because some of y'all are dealing with some people, places, and things in your life that are evil. They are negative. They are just downright wrong. And you are over there when you're not all the way aligned and connected. What are you doing? You saying an eye for an eye. You saying a tooth for a tooth. You saying a toe for a toe, a nose for a nose, a fist for a fist, some gossip for some gossip. Which means what? You're trying to handle that thing on your own to get them back, right? No. That's not how you overcome evil. Listen at this. This is coming from Romans, okay? I'm gonna put my little glasses on, okay? Don't judge me. I can see, but I can't see. I ain't seeing men that look like trees, though. I got clear vision, but when it comes to words. anyway, let's get to it. Romans 12, verse 17, all the way down to 21 says this. Recompense to no man evil for evil, okay? Then it says what? Provide things honest in the sight of all men. Then it says, if it is possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves. Avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine. I will repay, said the Lord. Therefore, if thine enemy, it didn't say if thine friend, it didn't say if thy cousin, it says if thine enemy hunger, feed him. If thine enemy thirst, give him drink. For in doing so, thou shalt heap coals of fire on his head. Be not overcome of evil. I'm going to say that again. Be not overcome of evil, but overcome, this is the answer, but overcome evil with good. That's your answer. How do you overcome evil? You overcome it with good. Now let's break this thing down. 17 says what? Recompense to no man evil for evil. That means you don't be over there telling someone eye for eye, tooth for tooth. No. You ain't doing all that. The next one says what? Provide things honest in the sight of all men. Now what does that mean? This means that if you're around somebody who's negative, who's evil, and they're probably saying stuff, it could be a relative, it could be a friend, it could be somebody in your arena, somebody around you, and they may say something. And if you don't open your mouth to let them know that what they just said is not a good thing, it was hurtful, it seemed like it came from a bad place, then what you do, you're not being honest when you don't relate that to them. Why? Because if you don't relate to them that what they're doing and what they're saying is not good, then what? They will continue doing it. And who gets the short end of the stick when you're not honest to all men about what they're doing and what they're saying concerning you? You get the short end of the stick, which means what? You're placed in a space of what? Loneliness, a space of fearfulness, a space of doubt, a space of not feeling what? Wanted, a space of feeling neglected. Why? Because they're doing stuff and you're not telling them, hey, listen, I don't like it when you talk to me like that. Hey, listen, what you just said was, I don't know exactly what you meant, but it came across as if you said, if you don't open your mouth and tell people what they're doing and saying is coming off the wrong way, sounds the wrong way, and make sure you're relating it to them in a way to where they won't per se get offended, which means what? You don't go snapping off at the neck, snapping your fingers, snatching in the air at them, or you puffing up your chest while you talking. You say, hey, listen, I don't really know what you meant about that, but the way it came across to me, it seemed like it came across in this way, and I just want to make sure that's not how it's coming across. Way back when ago, I was a mouse girl. I was quiet. When people would say stuff to me, whether it was family members, friends, or whatever, they would say different things, and I would go, whoa, that was hurtful. That was some shade you just threw to me, but I kept my mouth closed. And because I wasn't honest about what I was getting from them, they kept doing it over and over and over and over to where we kept going back and forth. It was always something building up with negativity with these individuals. Why? Because I would never open my mouth. That's why it says here what? Provide things honest in the sight of all men. Be honest. Be honest. You can be honest in love. You can. The next one says, verse 18, if it is possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men. Now, what does that mean? As much as lieth in you. What's supposed to be inside? God at core, right? God at core is peace, right? So as much as that lieth within you, with is God at core, and that's peace, then what? It says then what? Live peaceably with all men. Now, I do understand there are some people, places, and things where you have to love them and be peaceably with them from a distance. Now, in that case, you could be peacefully from a distance. Now, if you are able to be around people and hang around people and places and things, and you could be peaceful, then that's fine. But those, I know some of y'all who dealing with some people, places, and things, well, you can't just, you got to be distant. I get that, and it's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, here we go. It says here, dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves. What happens if you're trying to avenge yourself? What's really operating? That ego, right? The mind, body, and ego is operating when you want to get them got yourself. You say, no, this is my fight. That's the ego talking. So it says what? Dearly beloved, avenge not yourself. Then it says what? But rather give place unto wrath. Which means what? Let God do that thing. Then it says, for it is written that what? Vengeance is mine. Vengeance isn't yours. Vengeance is God. And it says, I will repay, said the Lord. Which means what? When you allow God to take the vengeance on it, then what? Then you won't get hurt in the midst. So the thing is, when you try to do that thing yourself, you get hurt even the more. You really do. Because you think you're repaying them and getting them to taste some of their own medicine. And really, you're putting more harm on yourself. Yeah, they may hurt a little bit, but you're going to hurt worse. Why? Because you're going to cause some damage. It's some wave effect that's going to come back. It's like if you hit a tennis ball real hard up at the wall, that tennis ball going to come back. It's coming back. See, when God gets vengeance, it goes to that individual, and it doesn't ricochet on you. It really doesn't. It doesn't. It goes to that individual, and they take all that pain, or they take all of what God got for them to teach them a lesson, whether through consequences or through pain. And you don't feel none of that they're dealing with. But if you do it yourself, whatever kind of hurt you cause them, you're going to feel that same hurt on yourself. You will. So don't try to do that thing on your own. Let God handle it. It says written, vengeance is his, not yours, not yours. Then it says, therefore, if thine enemy, not if your mama, not if your sister, not if your cousin, not if your BFF, not if your boyfriend, not if your husband, not if your wife, it says, now if thine enemy hunger, feed him. You're like, what? Yes, feed him. If thine enemy thirst, do what? Give him drink. Then it says what? For in so doing, thou shalt heap coals upon his head. Coals of fire, that is. Coals of fire. Now, what does that mean? He's like, heap coals of fire on his head. If I feed him when he's hungry. If I give him drink when he's thirsty. Then I shall heap coals of fire upon his head. You know what that means? It means by you giving them something to eat when they're hungry. This just does not mean food, y'all. It can be that your enemy can be down and out. And you know what they're doing and saying about you. You know they're your enemy. But when you see them in despair, you stretch out your hand to help. Whether they need a couple of dollars, or whether they need a ride to work, or whatever it is, if they need some advice, you advise them, right? You give them good news, right? From God. And when you do that, when you're feeding them when they're hungry and giving them drink when they're thirsty, you heap coals of fire on their head, which means what? You are allowing them to see who they are as far as their evilness, as far as that negativity, which means what? They are seeing themselves because of how you are treating them. And when they see themselves, it causes them to come into a space and come into a place to apologize and or to repent, which means what? They change their ways. And then this part right here says what? Be not overcome of evil. And here's your answer of how to overcome evil. It says, but overcome evil with good. I would say so simple. So easy. It's so simple, so easy. How to overcome evil? It's just simply overcome it with good. You can't help but to be nice to somebody when you know God has your back. That's why you have to stay all the way aligned and connected. Y'all, I'm already past 11 minutes. But when you're all the way aligned and connected, somebody could spit in your face. It happened to my mama one time. And I ain't talking about the spitting to make somebody's eyes see, okay? I'm talking about a young lady spat on my mama. And if y'all know my mama do not play. But she's a God-fearing mama, okay? She's a God-fearing lady, and she always kept her prayers up, and still to this day, you know, she's one with God, and she's striving to stay that way, you know. And I remember she was at work one day, and this young lady spat in her face, and my mama said she couldn't move. Which means what? Her mama, because either she said her prayers that day before she went to work, she didn't retaliate. Now, you know, if you ain't all the way aligned and connected, and somebody just walk up to you and they mad with you and they just spit in your face, it's going to be like, okay, hold on, she just spat in my face. Yes, she did, but she don't know who I am. She don't know the old me, and she just awakened the old me. Hold that right there. Hold on. You just spat in my face. Hold on, I'm gonna be with you in just a second. Be patient for this butt whooping. Be patient. It's a coming. And you get ready, you get, you know, your Vaseline on your eyes, and you get ready for that thing when you're not all the way aligned and connected. But when you know who you are at core, and you know that word when it says what? Do not avenge yourself. Because you really want to just give them a quick blow. You know, you really, I told you, I don't know if I told you, but I used to be one of them girls that used to be like, with my hands, I used to resolve a lot of stuff with my hands. I was like, I ain't scared of you. I don't care how big you are. I don't care how small you are. If you do something to me, you're going to get got. You're going to feel these hands, okay? That's how I used to be way back when ago. But thankfully, the closer I got to God, the more I shedded them ways. But I'm saying, don't try to wake her up, because she been asleep a long time. Don't try to raise them bones, okay? But anyway, when you are all the way aligned and connected, and you know the word that it says what? Don't avenge yourself, but what? Depend and rely on the wrath, which means what? God said it is written that vengeance is his, which means what? You may want to put a good beating on them, but if you allow God to handle it, he knows how to put a good beating on them that will forever remind them to never, ever bother you again. God knows how to do that thing. He'll either come to them with sickness. He will. He'll either hit them hard in their finances. He'll hit them hard in their marriage. He'll hit them hard in whatever area that will teach them the best lesson to never, ever bother you again. When you are staying aligned and connected, God sees that. And you think he's just going to let somebody come up and spit in your face? Let somebody come up and treat you this way? Let somebody try to scandalize your name, try to tell lies on you, and try to degrade your integrity, and try to make things bad on your behalf? God's coming with vengeance. He said, vengeance is mine, and I will repay. I will repay. He will. And then that's why he said, when you know that I got your back, then what? You see your enemy, maybe at the grocery store, and you see they drop $20 on the ground. You'll pick it up. You ain't gonna keep it. You know they need that to buy them hot dogs and hot dog buns. You know they need that money. You get the money and say, hey, you just dropped this here, and you give it back to them, even though you know they've been talking about you like a dog. Or maybe they've been doing some other stuff. And they come to you wanting advice. They don't know that you know what they've been doing, but you know what they've been doing. And because you know God got your back, you assist them with advice. You will even pray for them and pray with them, right? Exactly. You'll get them stuff for their birthday, wish them happy birthday. You'll say happy Mother's Day to them, happy Father's Day to them. You'll be nice to them. Why? Because you know God got your back. So when they're hungry for whatever, you will feed them what they're hungry for. And when they're thirsty for whatever, you'll give them drink. And then by your actions, in that manner, the heap of coals of fire will be on top of their head. Why should it be on their head? Because that's what wisdom is supposed to be, right? That's what knowledge is supposed to be. And so when those heap of coals are there, it gets to marinate saying, wow, when I asked, I've been talking about her like a dog. I've been talking about him like a dog. I just stole this from him. And I cheated on him, cheated with his wife, and I did this and that, and da-da-da-da-da. And wow, they treat me nice. Something up with this. They still being nice to me, even everything I've been doing to them. And they'll see your niceness. They'll see that you're giving a helping hand. And it'll cause them to see themselves in that evilness, in that negativity. And they'll either one, come to you, like I said, and repent, apologize, and change their ways. Or two, they'll look at you like it's too good to be true. Don't you know when people do you dirt, really do dirt evil against you, and when you have forgiven them, which means when you're taking the high road of God, that road, that highway, they won't ever believe that you're sincere. They just can't. I did this to them, and I said this about them. I know they don't love me. They say they love me, but they really don't. Sometimes people can't forgive themselves. They can't. Even though you have forgiven them, they can't forgive themselves. Why? Because they don't believe that you truly forgave them. What I did was so bad. Ain't no way they really want me to come over to their house. Ain't no way they really want me to come over here and do this with them. Ain't no way they want me to go on vacation with them after all I did to them. Those are people who are all the way aligned and connected. When you get all the way aligned and connected, then you know that when you do certain things, you ask for forgiveness, and not only repent and ask for forgiveness. What did it say? If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and seek my face and pray, and then turn from their wicked ways. When you get all the way aligned and connected, you turn from your wicked ways after you have repented. Then it said, then God will hear from heaven, then he'll heal your land. But when you know that, then when you ask for forgiveness from a person and they say they have forgiven you, then you'll feel comfortable with being around them. You won't ever be second guessing them. You won't ever be saying, something's still up with them. I still don't trust them because I don't trust them that they really forgave me because I did them wrong. Listen, overcoming evil is very easy. Keep showing the goodness that you have within your heart, within your soul, within your being, which is God. Because that's the way God said you could overcome it. It says, be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good. Keep being good. Keep being good to yourself. That's what's wrong with a person who's tormented. You have already forgiven them, but they are tormented by the evil act that they did because they can't forgive themselves. They can't do good for themselves. It has nothing to do with you. I had to learn that a long time ago. I was combating evil with good, with good, with good, with good. And even though the goodness was there, they were still like in a space to where they couldn't receive the good, where they couldn't receive that what we were giving out or what you were giving out is genuine. Why? Because they're still tormented. Because they don't think that they can ever be forgiven. Because they really, truly have not forgiven themselves. I hope y'all got this thing. But if you didn't, rewind and watch again because I want all y'all to overcome evil with good. Get and stay aligned and connected, which means that God is at the forefront of your life, moving in and through you, that you receive in your journey with some clarity. And with that clarity, you will continue doing good, overcoming evil. Get it? Got it? Good. Y'all be blessed, stay blessed. Be blessed, stay blessed. Be blessed, stay blessed. Y'all know what's coming next. Ciao.